Welcome to Raven and Red Fox Tarot, where you have transformed into the Empress energy. So the Empress is really understanding that your peace and your stability is a luxury, okay? It's no longer accepting small bids, that's weird, bids of love, bids of love, people seeing how little they can give. You're starting to understand that it's not necessarily money, it's not a house or this or that, it is having your own back. No. It's no longer falling into doubt with yourself. When you're in the Empress energy, it really is understanding that because you're walking your path and staying true to spirit and staying true to your intuition, you're not going to fall. Things might get a little, things aren't even getting difficult anymore. It's just, even if it's a redirection. You've had to really spend time learning this with the Hierophant. Like, tell me more about the Hierophant. This is odd how it all just came out. So basically what we've got here is we've got the Hierophant with the Judgment in reverse, the Chariot, and the Tower in reverse. So what's going on is you learned a lot about something. You got out of there before things crashed. Like, you saw the way that things were turning. Something, you made a judgment on something, it did not pass the vibe check for you, and you got out of there. And right after you got out of there, there goes the Tower. You know what though? Let's see. It looked like you were resting. It looked like you were somebody here thought that you would just kind of cry about it and let it go, sleep it off kind of thing. But really the whole time you were learning and taking notes. That's what it looks like. The Three of Wands, Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Oh, God. Someone thought that they could convince you that the good times were good enough, that when they had you drinking out of a literal toilet bowl with the way that they were treating you, that the opportunity for the good things that they kept telling you you could have in the future, that they could just bypass that because they're cute, you guys have great times, and you know, that was an accident. With this, it's like, I didn't do that on purpose. That's an accident. I didn't do that on purpose. Yeah, this person, tell me more about the King of Pentacles, but I'm really feeling like this person had you in a state of thinking that they had it all and they could give it to you. You just had to do X, Y, and Z. That's what it's really giving. And you kind of peeped this and were like, wait a minute. But why do I have to get it from you when I know it's in me? You're like, I can create things for myself. I can take care of myself. I really don't have to accept bare minimum for you for this imaginary prize. And that's got you sitting in the Empress energy. Tell me about, okay. Yeah, you're basking in the sun now because you know that you're in a safe space in your own hands. Taking care of yourself, relying on yourself. And not this liar. It's the Page of Swords in reverse. This person's just a talker. You are, and it's weird because I've got the King of Pentacles on top of the Empress now, so it's like you realized you had a moment of clarity with the sun that lasted all day. It was a beautiful sunny day. And you realized, wait, but I've always been abundant. Wait, but I've always made everything happen that I needed to happen. But wait, when you got those good ideas, you got it from me. When I really needed money, I knew how to make it. You know, I've always really been able to manifest everything that I needed. Why are you convincing me that I have to get it from you? And then you just relaxed in that. And this is the person's reaction. This is so funny to me. They were like, what? What do you mean you don't know you don't need me? What do you mean? They probably also told you that you were stupid or that you couldn't do this on your own, that you were going to end up homeless, in poverty, not be able to take care of yourself or the people that you're responsible for. What are you talking about? You can't do that without me. Should I take all these? These are a lot. So this person like wasn't participating in the household whatsoever, it seems. Like you're playing in the water, but you're not washing the dishes. That's the energy I'm getting from this. Like you could, but you won't. It's the Eight of Cups. Yeah, they always wanted you to do, but then they want to take from you too. You do, but then you gotta give to me as well, and then maybe I'll give to you. And you're like, well, if I'm doing all the work and I'm giving my energy to you, which is exhausting me, and we're successful around here, why couldn't I just do it without you? Knight of Swords in reverse. Seven of what? I don't know. Nope. Yeah. This person really thought that they could just lie to you. This person really thought that they could just play with you, use lies for manipulation, make you feel like you were the, one of many, not, not really their favorite toy, but like one of their toys. They felt like, because you felt like you had responsibilities You know, you might have kids, you might not, you might have pets, you might have, who knows what you got going on. But it felt like you had to think for others. So they felt like you would put the stability, they didn't think you would trust yourself or risk it. You know, they didn't think you would take a risk. And this is this person's energy. This is just gross. You got the devil here. They were really just toying with you, you know. They felt like they were playing with you. They had you really occupied with other things, all kinds of distractions. You know, don't focus on this over here, focus on this over here. Oh, do you want to go on a vacation? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Always distracting you with something else. Meanwhile, they're draining you. Just draining you emotionally, mentally, physically. Yeah. And they thought they had you, like, they thought they had you distracted, but really, you were paying attention. You were taking notes. You were looking back on these notes and you were saying, let me rearrange some things. let me get myself together. Yeah, let me check in with me on that and get back to you. Tell me more about this Empress energy. Okay, tell me how the collective is moving forward now. Tell me more about the Empress energy, because we don't care about them. We care about the collective, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, especially. Sorry, divine masculine. And honestly, if you are a divine masculine, you would be questioning yourself on it. Am I the divine? Not, yeah, that's me. So if you just immediately said, yep, that's me, divine masculine, I don't trust you. And you definitely shouldn't. Okay? You don't have to tell women that. Yeah, the Hierophant in reverse. Tell me about that. I don't think, let me see then. You have stepped out of a cycle where you will sacrifice certain morals and certain morals to, like, make things work or save face. In, like, not even your own, but like protecting someone else's image by not looking a mess. Tell me more about the Hierophant in reverse. Maybe my cards are just upside down there. The Wheel. No, okay. The Wheel and the Emperor. You have really turned a new leaf. You're going into a completely different, like, you've leveled up. The perspective, different. Not thinking the same things at all. We are out of wanting to be loved by someone else, because I think what you've really realized is, yeah, there's been a huge transformation here. You've realized that the person that people are imitating to get into your life is you. So maybe you should just kind of accept that you are very lovable, because you are the person you've fallen in love with over and over again, because the people are pretending to be you. And you're sitting in that. You're sitting in that. You're like, wait a minute. I am her. I am her. Yep, I'm her. And you're letting these things that have transformed you, these events that have transformed you, these skeletons in your closet, as people want to refer them to, you're probably very open with them, because to you they're not that. They are guidance for the future. You're using that as wisdom, where people want to shy away from how they've been hurt and what's happened to them. You use it as a testimony, and you use it as a lesson for real, for real. Yeah, you're really starting to like yourself. Like, everyone wants to love yourself, but you really like you. Like, you're starting to really like things about you. You know, love is like an over-encompassing respect feeling for everything, but you are fond of yourself. You like yourself. There's things about you that are like, are really in the shit. I'm like so funny. I'm the funniest person I've ever met, and I've met a lot of people. I'm really smart. There's things that you have been embarrassed about that you now understand about yourself on a different level, and you like that about you now, that you would have been embarrassed about it before. You've been like, oh, that's a stupid little me, but now you're like, I am that bitch. Oh, that's me. And you're protecting yourself more because of that. Like, you're not for everybody, for real. Yeah, you're using logic, and people cannot just approach you on some emotional BS and think that it's going to bypass. You are being very logical moving forward. You are open, but you're not open to be played with. You're not open for unnecessary, lovey-dovey things. You might be okay on a platonic level. Yeah, definitely with the Aquarius there. You are cool with friends. Friends are fine if it makes sense. You're open, but you're also protective of yourself in a way that you haven't been before. Anything you want to say? What am I supposed to be asking about? Yeah, you're done taking risks for other people, or even for love. Like, if it's for you, it'll come for you, and it will make sense, and it will be easy. The whole taking a risk for love thing is no longer appealing for you. You know, if I'm gonna take a risk, I'm gonna take a risk on me, babe. I'm gonna take a risk on me. What do I look like taking a risk on you? I don't know you. And even if I do know you, I probably... No. Got me right in the throat. Okay. Yeah, no, never. I don't want you saying that. Never say never. Never. Too many cards, but what's on top? Yeah, you're really, you're clear-minded right now. You're not lost in desires. You're able to, first of all, you are at peace mentally and emotionally, because you've let people go and you've reached this new understanding to where you don't need anything to balance yourself. You just are balanced. It's easy to stay focused. Yeah, you're really looking at the things you've been through in the past as an opportunity to grow. Not even to grow, like it was an opportunity to grow. Yeah, you're looking back on the way you used to think about things. Yeah, you're looking back on how things used to be hard and why they used to be hard. And you're taking accountability for that because, for one, your perception was wrecked. And that's not your fault. That's growing up around enemies, okay? You have had people come in for you for a long time, and what you thought was normal and acceptable, you're now realizing is not. Like, those were low standards. They were very, very low. To the ground. And at the level you were at, you thought you were doing stuff. And you weren't. But you didn't know that then. You know that now. Standards have rise. Okay? They have risen. They have risen. You have not. You didn't really give yourself enough credit. You didn't give yourself enough credit for your capability of going on your own adventure. You really always thought about family and doing it with someone. Like, you have to create this family because you didn't have a family, you want a family, and then you guys can work together and then make magical things happen. But really, it was always supposed to be you. And you're thinking about the rewards you got from this dependency that you had on others. Because you did. You had an emotional dependency on other people, and that's how they were able to get in. And then siphon all your energy. Have you doing all the work? Have you out of just not in tune with yourself? Not being able to create for yourself. Really blocking you from just focusing on yourself and what you're here to do. And now you're giving yourself that opportunity. It's a lesson. You're taking it as a lesson. You could cry about it if you want. Seems like a waste of time. That you could be doing other things. So I'm really proud of you. That's awesome. I'm proud of me and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of us. Okay? You go, Empress. You go. You go, Glen Coco. Yeah, these are just memories now. These are just weird memories that you look back on fondly, where you had discernment and you just didn't, you said the things out loud. You clocked what was happening around you. You really did. You look back and you're like, I said that and I didn't even hear my own voice. I let them talk me out of that. Because discernment, when it's used correctly, it's not something you even communicate. Like, really, you don't even need to communicate it, because the other person is just 9 times out of 10, unless you know that this person is someone who is also operating in their discernment, okay? They're going to try to navigate the conversation into you're wrong and here's why you thought that. Not the reason you think, but it shouldn't be communicated. It's you trusting yourself is knowing that you're right. And there's nothing to talk about. What do I need to ask you for? So you can lie to me? So you can tell me that I'm right? What's the difference? You already know. And that's what you're learning. That's what you've learned. That's what you've learned. Boundaries make a whole lot more sense when you understand it's just not tolerating certain things, and that doesn't mean talking to the person about it. That means leaving. Getting in your car and driving away. Blocking their number. Not talking to them again. That's what that means. And you've learned that. I know you know. Yeah. You have left this timeline of wanting people to think you're a good person or fair. Bad people that are trying to steal your energy are going to say you're a bad person when you stop giving it to them. The power in knowing it doesn't matter if they think something's fair or not is immense. It gives you complete freedom. And you have given yourself that freedom with just realizing that that's what that means. You didn't even know that that was an answer on the test. You didn't know that you could answer that. What do you mean? I don't have to get their approval. You don't have to get their approval. You don't have to get anybody's approval because you got your own pillow and your own squeaky toy and your own crown and you're happy. What do you need? They can't offer you nothing. What are they going to do? Come in and ruin your peace? I'm just saying. You're basking in the sunshine. This is you. Just basking. Just having a good day. A good one. Because you've realized you don't have to and you can't make me. And I can. And I want to and I will. And I'm so proud of you. Great job, collective. All right, I'll see you next time.